Oh man, I just saw one of the most blatant, disgusting stoppages in probably the last 20, 30 years of boxing. I watched the Showtime fight here. It's for a vacant WBA title against Romero and Ishmael Barrios. And I'm looking at the fight and I'm expecting Rolly's coming off a knockout loss to Javante Tate Davis, heavy hitter. So I'm thinking that they chose he's an older gentleman, and he's got to come in and basically style on this old dude and get his confidence up after a brutal knockout from Tate. And this is actually he moved up in weight to 140 pounds, and there was a vacant WBA title. To me, the WBA needs to either, if they're actually any type of morals about their sanctioning body, they need to do a review, at least call for a review or something with this. This is like a blatant fix. I mean, Rolly Romero was knocked down at the end of like the third or fourth round or something like that, and then they got to what, round 7 to 8. In later rounds, it was either eight or nine rounds, 7 to 8, and Rolly, he actually, he hurt Barrios with a nice shot, but he actually pushed him down while he was staggering, kind of staggered a little bit. So they counted it as a knockdown when it shouldn't have been, in my opinion, because he didn't hit him flush enough to get him down. He didn't just drop. So after he got up, the older gentleman went. He was throwing hands with him again. Boom, boom, boom. They throwing hands. Robert Mill, I guess he got his confidence back a little bit. Then they goes to have an exchange, and next thing I know, Tony Weeks is jumping in the fight, waving the fight off. I'm like, what's going on? This man, they literally stopped the fight while Ismael Barrioso was, oh, I assume it's Barroso. I'm saying his name wrong. It's Barroso. Ismael Barroso. He's throwing a punch while Tony Weeks jumped in and waved the fight off. That doesn't even make sense. You don't wave a fight off when somebody is actively exchanging punches with a fighter. You stop the fight once a fighter can't protect themselves and their hands are down and they're just getting pummeled. This is a blatant, disgusting stoppage because someone in the network, the promotional company, or something somewhere along those lines is paying to, I guess, keep Romero in the good graces of somebody else. I don't know. They want to try to build Rolly Romero, I guess, as a pay-per-view star or something, and they don't want to jeopardize his record. But Romero's getting beaten pretty much every round, and he was getting it was pretty convincingly actually. And I'm pretty disgusted at boxing, and this is the state of boxing that we're in, to the point where the sport has become a damn, it's a joke, because we have fights that over the years we've been wanting as boxing fans to see great fights and the best fight the best, and that's why we ask that. Basically, first of all, we understand boxing is the business, but the business has overshadowed the sport aspect. It's also a sport, and they've put the business ahead of the sport. There's a lot of freaking politics and behind the scenes garbage to prevent the best fights happening. In this particular era, we have Errol Spence, and Terrence Crawford, who both of them combined have all of the belts at 147 pounds, and they haven't fought yet. They're still talking about how they're supposed to fight and they're negotiating, but there's nothing that's showing that they're actually going to fight. The networks and the social media lied and said that they're going to be announcing the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight during the Javante Tate Davis and Garcia fight, and that never happened. So that's all been a farce. It's just disgusting how boxing is. The best is not fighting the best. A lot of behind the scenes politics, and I'm really disgusted with it. and it's hard to be a boxing fan in this era. I just don't like what the way the sport has gone, and taken the fans for a ride to milk the fans as much as possible, especially in the era of streaming and fire sticks, and we can get all this stuff for free. I'm tired of paying for substandard boxing, and having to deal with boxing politics when I'm not, as a fan, can't even get the sport aspect addressed. And we're just sitting up here watching these garbage fights. These I mean, this man, Barroso, has just been totally robbed and messed over because of boxing politics. And there needs to be some type of review or something. There needs to be a no contest or something, because this is terrible. Anyway, I'm out.